Welcome to Legends Forever, with Richard bringing you a place of remembrance for extraordinary lives that continue to inspire long after they are gone. Here we honor timeless figures from film, music, sports, and culture, reflecting on their achievements, their influence, and the memories they left behind. Every tribute is a celebration of legacies that will never be forgotten. 10 years ago this week, the world of country music lost one of its most defining voices. Merle Haggard passed away on his 79th birthday, leaving behind a legacy that continues to shape American country music. Legacy. Rising from a difficult early life, he transformed personal struggles into songs that felt direct, honest, and deeply relatable. Career. With more than 38 #1 hits, including Mama Tried and Okie from Muskogee, he became known for storytelling that reflected working-class life with clarity and emotion. Influence. His voice, marked by both grit and vulnerability, helped define the sound of traditional country music and inspired generations of artists who followed. Recognition. His contributions were formally honored in 1994 with induction into the Country Music Hall of Fame, cementing his place among the genre's most important figures. Lasting impact. Even years after his passing, his music continues to find new listeners, carrying themes of resilience, identity, and everyday struggle. His songs remain a reminder that authentic storytelling in music never fades, but instead grows more meaningful with time. His influence can still be heard across modern country artists who draw on his style of honesty and narrative songwriting rooted in real-life experience today. George Segal passed away at the age of 87, leaving behind a long and respected career in film and television. Known for his easy charm and natural screen presence, he had a rare ability to move between drama and comedy with equal ease, making his performances feel grounded and relatable. Breakthrough in film. Segal earned an Academy Award nomination for his role in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, a powerful and emotionally intense film that showcased his dramatic depth. This performance established him as a serious actor capable of handling complex, layered storytelling in major Hollywood cinema. Success in television comedy. Later in his career, Segal became widely recognized for his comedic work, including his role in Just Shoot Me. His timing and subtle humor helped define the show's tone, earning him renewed popularity with television audiences. He also reached a new generation of viewers through The Goldbergs, where he played a warm, endearing grandfather figure. Legacy and lasting impact. George Segal is remembered for bringing authenticity, humor, and emotional honesty to every role he played. His career spanned decades of storytelling, leaving behind performances that continue to resonate with audiences who appreciated his effortless humanity on screen. Alexei Zimin was more than a chef. He was a cultural storyteller who used food, writing, and media to connect ideas, traditions, and people across countries. Born on December 13, 1971 in Russia, he later moved to the United Kingdom, where he became known as both a restaurateur and a thoughtful commentator on cuisine and identity. Food as culture and storytelling. Zimin's work went beyond recipes. Through his restaurants, writing, and media appearances, he explored Russian cuisine in a way that linked history with personal experience. His approach treated food as a form of storytelling, helping international audiences understand culture through taste, memory, and tradition. A voice with independent views. He was also known for speaking openly on political and social issues. Zimin publicly criticized events such as the annexation of Crimea, taking a clear and independent stance during a period of heightened political tension. His willingness to express his views added another dimension to his public identity beyond the culinary world. A sudden and unresolved loss. Alexei Zimin was found dead in Belgrade, Serbia, at the age of 52. Reports at the time indicated that the cause of death was under investigation, with no widely confirmed official conclusion made public. His sudden passing left both culinary and literary communities in shock. A legacy of curiosity and connection. Zimin is remembered for his creativity, independence, and ability to bring people together through culture and conversation. His influence lives on in his writing, his culinary work, and the conversations he helped inspire across borders. Alan Little, born on the 5th of February 1955 in Hordern, County Durham, built a long and steady career in English football defined by reliability, discipline, and consistency. As a midfielder, he was not known for flash or headlines, but for doing the essential work that holds a team together. Over a senior playing career spanning more than 400 appearances, he became closely associated with clubs such as Southend United and Barnsley FC, where his professionalism and commitment earned the respect of teammates, coaches, and supporters. After retiring as a player, Little moved into management in 1993, continuing his involvement in the game from the dugout. His most notable managerial spell came with York City FC, where he spent 7 seasons guiding the team through different phases of competition. He was widely regarded as a calm and steady influence focused on structure, discipline, and long-term stability rather than dramatic change. Little passed away at the age of 69 with no widely confirmed public cause of death disclosed. He was also the younger brother of Brian Little, another respected figure in English football, further linking him to a family with strong ties to the sport. Alan Little is remembered for his quiet dedication to football, both as a dependable player and a thoughtful manager. His legacy is not built on fame, but on consistency, loyalty, and a lifelong commitment to the game he served. Akira Endo was born on November 14, 1933, in Higashiuri, Akita, Japan. From an early age, he developed a strong interest in natural compounds and the ways living organisms interact with human biology, which guided his future in scientific research. Breakthrough in medical research. During the 1970s, Endo made a discovery that would transform modern medicine. While studying fungi, he identified compounds capable of inhibiting cholesterol production in the body. This work became the foundation for statins, a class of drugs that are now widely used to lower cholesterol and reduce the risk of heart disease and stroke. His findings initially received limited attention but later became recognized as groundbreaking. Recognition and impact over time, Endo's contributions earned major scientific honors, including the Lasker DeBakey Clinical Medical Research Award and the Japan Prize. His work is now considered a cornerstone of cardiovascular medicine, influencing treatment for millions of people worldwide. Passing and legacy. Akira Endo passed away in Tokyo at the age of 90. A specific cause of death was not publicly disclosed. He is remembered as a quiet but transformative scientist whose research fundamentally changed global healthcare, with his legacy continuing every time statin medications are prescribed. Julia Roberts was born on October 28, 1967 in Smyrna, Georgia, into a household shaped by creativity, conviction, and instability in equal measure. Her parents were actors who co-founded an acting school that welcomed children of all races during a deeply segregated era, a decision that reflected both courage and principle. Despite that inspiring foundation, life at home was financially strained and emotionally unpredictable. Her parents eventually separated when she was very young, leaving Julia with a deep awareness that stability could disappear without warning. Her father remained a loving presence, but lived apart, while her mother carried the responsibility of raising children under constant pressure. From an early age, Julia learned to adapt quickly to shifting environments, reading emotional cues and adjusting herself to whatever space she entered, a survival skill that would later shape both her personality and her performances on screen. Loss, childhood struggles, and emotional formation. One of the most defining moments of Julia's childhood came when her father passed away from cancer when she was just 10 years old. His death created an emotional void that never fully closed, especially because he had chosen to shield her from the severity of his illness. Before he passed, he recorded tapes of bedtime stories so she could still hear his voice, a gesture she would later describe as both comforting and heartbreaking. After his loss, life became more unstable, with shifting households, new family dynamics, and growing emotional distance. Julia also struggled with a stutter, which made communication difficult and contributed to her introverted nature at school. Rather than withdrawing completely, she found refuge in acting and storytelling, where she could express emotions without fear of interruption. These early experiences built a foundation of emotional depth that later became central to her acting career. New York struggles and first steps in acting. At 17, Julia moved to New York City with limited money and no guaranteed path forward, determined to pursue acting despite overwhelming uncertainty. Life in the city was harsh, marked by financial instability, long walks to auditions, and frequent rejection. She often lived in shared apartments, stretching small amounts of money across days and facing more than 200 rejections before landing meaningful work. Even small opportunities such as commercials or minor television appearances became essential stepping stones. She also worked through illness and exhaustion, refusing to abandon auditions despite difficult conditions. During this period, she learned that persistence mattered more than immediate success and that survival in the industry required emotional endurance as much as talent. These years shaped her discipline and resilience, teaching her to approach her craft with seriousness long before fame ever arrived. Breakthrough roles and rising recognition. Julia's early breakthrough came with films like Mystic Pizza, where critics began to notice her natural screen presence and emotional authenticity. Her performance in Steel Magnolias further solidified her reputation, earning her critical acclaim and an Academy Award nomination at a very young age. Unlike many rising stars, her success did not feel sudden or effortless. It was the result of years of rejection and perseverance. She brought a sense of realism to her characters that resonated deeply with audiences, often drawing from her own experiences of loss and instability. Each role added momentum, slowly building her reputation as one of Hollywood's most promising young actresses. By the early 1990s, she was no longer an emerging talent, but a recognized force in the industry, admired for both her emotional range and her ability to connect with audiences on a deeply human level. Pretty Woman and global stardom. The release of Pretty Woman marked a turning point that transformed Julia Roberts into an international icon. What began as a modest romantic comedy evolved into a cultural phenomenon, largely due to her charismatic performance and undeniable screen presence. Her portrayal of Vivian Ward resonated across generations, redefining modern romantic storytelling and cementing her status as America's sweetheart. However, the sudden rise to global fame came with intense scrutiny and pressure. Her personal life became public property, and expectations for perfection followed her everywhere. Relationships were tested under media attention, and privacy became increasingly difficult to maintain. Despite the overwhelming spotlight, Julia continued to work steadily, choosing roles that challenged her emotionally and professionally. Fame elevated her career to extraordinary heights, but it also introduced complexities that would shape her understanding of success, identity, and personal boundaries. Career evolution and major achievements. Throughout the 1990s and early 2000s, Julia Roberts expanded her range with diverse roles in films such as My Best Friend's Wedding, Notting Hill, and Erin Brockovich. The latter earned her the Academy Award for Best Actress, marking a defining moment in her career. Her performance as Erin Brockovich showcased not only her talent, but also her ability to embody real-life strength and determination. Around this time, she became one of the highest-paid actresses in Hollywood, breaking industry barriers and setting new standards for female performers. Despite this success, she remained selective about her projects, avoiding overexposure and focusing on meaningful work. Her career choices reflected a growing awareness that longevity in Hollywood required balance, discipline, and the ability to prioritize quality over constant visibility, even when demand for her presence remained extremely high. Public relationships and emotional challenges. Julia's personal life often unfolded under intense public scrutiny, with relationships becoming subject to media speculation and constant attention. Early romantic experiences were brief and emotionally impactful, shaping her understanding of intimacy under pressure. One highly publicized engagement ended just days before the wedding, an event that attracted global headlines and overwhelming commentary. These experiences highlighted the difficulty of maintaining personal relationships in an environment where privacy was nearly impossible. Over time, she learned to separate emotional truth from public perception, recognizing that visibility often distorted reality. Despite heartbreak and disappointment, she continued to approach relationships with openness, even when past experiences suggested caution. These years were emotionally complex, but they contributed to her growth, helping her understand the importance of boundaries, self-respect, and emotional clarity in both personal and professional life. Marriage, family, and stability. In the early 2000s, Julia found lasting stability with cinematographer Daniel Moder. Their relationship developed away from constant media attention, allowing them to build a foundation based on privacy and mutual respect. They married in a quiet ceremony in 2002 and later welcomed 3 children, shifting Julia's priorities toward family life. Motherhood became a central part of her identity, reshaping her daily routine and influencing her career decisions. She became more selective with roles, choosing projects that allowed her to balance work and home life. Over time, their marriage endured the challenges of public life, sustained by shared values and commitment to keeping their family grounded. This period marked a significant emotional shift, as she moved from constant public exposure toward a more private and intentional way of living, focused on stability rather than external validation or constant visibility. Personal loss, family healing, and growth. As Julia built her own family, she also experienced deeper reflections on loss and reconciliation within her extended family. The passing of her half-sister brought quiet grief, handled privately and without public display. At the same time, her relationship with her brother, actor Eric Roberts, which had been strained for years, gradually improved after the birth of her children. These personal experiences reinforced her understanding that healing often happens slowly and without dramatic resolution. Rather than avoiding pain, she learned to coexist with it, allowing time and distance to soften old tensions. These moments shaped her emotional maturity, teaching her that relationships are complex and require patience rather than perfection. Through both loss and reconciliation, Julia developed a deeper appreciation for family, understanding that connection is not defined by absence of conflict, but by the willingness to remain open despite it. Wealth, career choices, and lifestyle. Julia Roberts has built a career that extends far beyond fame, with an estimated net worth of around $250 million, earned through decades of strategic choices and selective work. She became one of the first actresses to command salaries that reshaped industry standards, yet she avoided overextending herself for constant visibility. Instead, she focused on long-term stability, careful investments, and meaningful projects. Her lifestyle reflects simplicity and intention, centered around a ranch in New Mexico that offers privacy and distance from Hollywood's constant attention. She also maintains a strong commitment to philanthropy, contributing to causes related to health, education, and humanitarian relief. Rather than pursuing excess, she prioritizes balance, choosing security and peace over constant exposure. Her financial and personal decisions reflect a philosophy shaped by experience, emphasizing sustainability, independence, and emotional well-being over external validation. Legacy, reflection, and meaning. Today, Julia Roberts stands as one of Hollywood's most enduring figures, not only because of her success, but because of the resilience behind it. Her journey reflects a life shaped by both extraordinary achievement and personal challenge, where fame never replaced the need for grounding and meaning. She continues to work selectively, choosing roles that align with her values while maintaining a strong focus on family life. Her legacy is not defined solely by iconic performances, but by her ability to evolve without losing authenticity. She represents a rare balance between global recognition and personal privacy, showing that longevity in the public eye requires discipline and self-awareness. Ultimately, her story is about more than fame. It is about building a life that remains steady beneath it, proving that real strength often exists in quiet decisions made away from the spotlight.